Hello, my name is Lucrezia Lodato and I'm a freelance translator. Today I explain how to start out as a freelance translator. Watch this video to learn more. Many of you may want to start out as a freelance translator but have no idea on how to start out. Obviously, knowing two languages is not enough. There are far more competencies that you need, but we'll cover this in another video. Now, let's suppose that you're ready and just want to start out. There are a couple of things you should take into account and do. So, I try to cover all of them in this video. Of course, I'll not analyze them too much in detail because the video would be too long. But I cover all of them individually in my next videos. Well, starting out as a freelance translator may seem scary and difficult, but it's not impossible if you follow some steps. Well, personally speaking, I started out quite recently in October 2022, so I'm still a newcomer at the moment of recording this video. And well, this may be helpful because I remember perfectly everything that I've done so far. The first thing you have to do is setting up as a freelancer in terms of taxes and all the requirements according to your country. So, well, these ranges from taxes, invoicing issues, and for example, registration, VAT number, accountancy, and all that stuff. Then you also have to consider what you need in order to start out. So, first of all, you need a computer and a fast internet connection. Then you may also want to take into account where you want to work, so everything that concerns your workstation. And then you may also want to consider if to buy a cut-tool license. Well, the most important thing is that you know how to use cut tools because many translation agencies require you to use them and will give you their temporary licenses. Well, there are also some clients that have no particular idea of what is a cut tool, but you will need cut tool in order to ensure consistency and also speed things up thanks to term bases and translation memories. So this is another investment you should consider. And then of course you will also have to decide the kind of services you want to provide. They may include translation, subtitling, machine translation post-editing, and things like that. The important thing is that you decide the kind of services you want to provide, and also if you want to specialize in a particular area, so as to know the type of clients you want to target in terms of well, the kind of domain the text they want you to translate will belong to, but also in terms of end clients versus translation agencies. Then you'll also have to create your own email address, your business email address that has to sound professional. You may want to buy your own domain for the email or just use something like Gmail, for example, but the important thing is that the name sounds professional. And so you also have to decide your business name and maybe also, well, draw a logo of your brand. Then I suggest that you also create your own professional portfolio to showcase some of your translations and projects. Well, of course, you may not have so many professional projects because, well, you've not worked yet, but you can use the projects, for example, that you carried out as part of your education or as part of volunteer work. And then, of course, you have to create your own CV in all your working languages. And you should also prepare a draft of cover letter, but please be aware that you have to personalize it each time you send it to a potential client or to a potential translation agency. You also have to check your translation speed so as to understand the rates and how much you charge for your services. Well, you can amend them all the times you need, but of course you have to have an idea of the rates of your rates when you first approach your clients, so that you're ready to answer this question. Then you should also create a draft of your translation agreement, or an agreement for each kind of service you provide, so that you can send it to your clients when necessary. Well, this protects you and your business and makes things clear before you start working for them. Well, and then of course you have to make yourself known, to make people know that you're a translator and that you've started out. And so you, first of all, you have to decide which kind of social network you want to use for marketing purposes. For example, I mainly use LinkedIn, that is a powerful tool. And well, it also depends on the kind of public and clients you want to target, and also on your skills and on which social networks you feel more comfortable with. And then to build and develop your online presence, you should also create your own website. Well, you may want to invest some money and pay some professional web designer, but there are also lots and lots of tools that you can use. For example, I use Mozello. There's a free version, but I prefer to pay. Well, it's very useful because Mozello helps you have a multilingual website, and I think that is very important because as translators we work with clients from different countries. There are of course clients that speak your source language as a native language, and others that may speak your target language as a native language. And then you should attend as many networking events as possible, and also join a professional organization such as the ITI. Please devote some time to networking. It may seem as a waste of time, but it is not. This is of course because you can learn from more experienced professionals, but well, they may also refer you to potential clients or ask for help when they're too busy and need some help in order to meet deadlines. And well, so they may send you some work and jobs. And then you should also subscribe and use some platforms such as press.com, Translators Cafe, and things like that, because they can help you get your first jobs. So, to sum it up, people have to know you exist and you're a translator. And last but not least, you have to start sending your freelance applications to translation agencies. Well, I'll cover this topic more in depth in another video, but well, I suggest that you make a list of all the agencies you may approach. From this point of view, Press.com has the so-called blue board. That's a very useful tool because it helps you check that translation agencies are, well, reliable and legitimate. And then bear in mind that you may need to approach something like 300 to 400 translation agencies in your first year. the freelancer, because they get so many applications that they don't review all of them. So in order to start working with 4 to 8 agencies, you should approach hundreds of them. And please keep a record of the agencies you approach so as to take note of their names, but also the kind of information they send to you or you send to them, and well, for example, the rates that you told them, and all similar things. And then you may also want to offer your services to potential direct clients. Well, the main thing is that you always tell people that you're a translator. They have to know you are a translator. Well, these are just some tips and steps, and I'll cover more in depth all of them in my next video. But that's all for today. So if you like the video, please subscribe to the channel and see you next week.